Welcome to another Thursday in Geeks of the Week. I'm Mario. Sorry for no fancy intro this week, but I have a lot to get through and this is going to be a long video. This week I spent some extra time with the geeks, give you my thoughts on the Disney Star Wars deal, and finally review some comics. Now onto the video. Steph, your role costume was uncanny, X-Men pun, and freaking great, and I so hope you won the costume contest. Yes, even over the Ghostbuster one with the sweet proton pack. That's how much you mean to me. I would totally pick you over that costume. Unless an actual Ghostbuster wore it, then all bets are off. By the way, I know we're not shirt friends yet, but you did endorse the shirt because you told me about it. It's this awesome Ghostbuster one. So thank you for telling me about it because I love it. Also, so happy to see you review a comic again. Please do more because I miss your opinion. Everybody misses your opinion. So please review more. And you're right, ABX Babies was hilarious and very funny. And finally, and this is long overdue, but I never got into Judge Dredd just because I never got an interest in it yet. But I'm one of the few who love the awful Sylvester Stallone version. So if you speak highly of the trades, I will definitely pick up one of the comics. So let me know how it is. I know that DC's plan to release a Batman Judge Dredd crossover this month, so look out for that. Pyro, your video made me laugh, cry, laugh, scared, laugh, hungry, and laugh again. The pumpkins in the bag made me hungry. Also, I too have been to Frankensons, and your experience sounded just about right because for every good thing for that place, I can think of 5 equally bad. But I'm happy you're feeling better, and who knew Harry Potter was such a potty mouth? So to answer your question of how far will we go with technology and how will we let it be involved into our lives, I want mech suits. I want battle droids. I want Iron Man style tech. And that's the direction technology should be heading. But if we're talking about chips implanted in the brain, that's some crazy robot uprising George Orwell 1984 type things. But in reality, because of Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, we freely give up this information ourselves. We document everything ourselves, so they really don't need to put chips in our brains. We're already there. But it will all be worth it if I get a jetpack, get to fight the Terminator, become Robocop, or become Neo from the Matrix. Luluco, your portrayal of Catherine intimidated me. Mostly because I'm very shy. If I ever actually had to talk to her, I would end up running away. I'm talking about full sprint T1000 run. No joke. And I'm sorry your Halloween was bleh, but if it makes you feel better, mine was spent hiding from children because I ran out of candy. And by ran out, I mean I kept a bunch for myself. So you asked a question this week, and that's what's our favorite all-time Halloween costume? I'm going to go way back to when I was a kid, when I cut 2 holes in the bedsheet, put it over my body, and went as a ghost. It's the most low-budget costume you can think of, but I did it to honor Charlie Brown because growing up, I always watched the Halloween special when he tries to go as a ghost, but since he can't do anything right, he cuts too many holes in the bedsheet. It's a classic scene. In fact, for Geeks of the Week, I almost went as that, but I wanted to go as something a little bit more scary. And I would show you a picture, but there's no photo albums in my family. All the photos are scattered everywhere. If I ever find one, I'll gladly show you. So switching topics, I can't tell you how much it meant to me if I inspired you to get into comics. You know, seriously, from the bottom of my heart, that means a lot to me that I could actually influence someone. And thank you for the kind words about my comic book reviews, because sometimes I wonder if anybody watches or even cares. You know, and the reason I love your comic book reviews is because you're thorough in your analysis and you're very entertaining to watch. Also, you come at it from a fresh perspective. Me and Steph know a lot of these characters by heart, so we already know how they should be written or when they sound a little bit off. So it's interesting to see from a fresh point of view if it works. So I hope you continue reviewing comics and keep up the great job. Nikki, your costume was very original. The merging of 2 characters, brilliant. I continue to be in awe of how crazy talented you are, and that's definitely demonstrated during campaign week. I seriously loved your video. The dialogue was dead on, and as a Firefly fan and a fellow brown coat, I thank you for it. If you guys haven't seen it, and why? So I'll be posting a link below. I'll also post a link below to the film she was a part of, in which she won a bunch of awards, just buckets and buckets of awards, in which you learn that books are dangerous. Seriously, don't go messing with the Book of the Dead. And I know it's not a party until Cthulhu shows up, but really now. And finally, I would like to issue an apology because the last 2 videos you've seen me act, and I use quotation marks because I can't act at all. You know, I look back at those videos and I kind of cringe at some parts because I'm my own harshest critic. And like I said, yeah, I'm not an actor, but I just want to do something different. Just know that I tried my best for you guys. And I'm happy for any positive feedback, and thank you for it. But really, I'm going to not act for a while because it was awful. It wasn't any good. I'm going to switch gears and mention some things quickly before I get to the big news of the week. I'm going to start with Wreck-It Ralph is set to premiere tomorrow. I know Steph is excited, so I'm excited because it looks like a really funny movie and I'm going to go see it too. And as Pyro mentioned, Josh Whedon is endorsing Romney. I will be posting a link below to the video. It shows you that Josh Whedon can talk you into anything. And he officially wins campaign week here at Geeks of the Week, even though he doesn't know he was part of it. Now on to the big news of the week. So big news hit Tuesday in that George Lucas has decided to sell Lucasfilms, which is Star Wars, to Disney. And they've already announced a new film for it, Episode 7 for 2015. So here are my thoughts on the deal, starting with the positive. George Lucas will not be at the helm of these movies, he's just going to be a creative consultant, which I think is a huge positive. Star Wars as a universe is very rich, but a lot of it's been untapped in the movies because, well, let's face it, Lucas really lost his touch. Episodes 1 to 3 were mediocre at best, and I'm being very kind here. So what's the new movie going to be about? It's going to be set in after the Return of the Jedi. It's going to focus on rebuilding the Republic and still follow Luke Skywalker's story. Now, if you've seen Star Wars comics, cartoons, video games, you know there's still a lot of great Star Wars tales to tell. Is this a risky move? Might it end up being awful? Absolutely. But I think it's worth the risk if we get to see another great Star Wars movie. Now, what makes me nervous about this deal is the comic franchise. Dark Horse released a statement yesterday saying that for now and for the foreseeable future, they still will have the rights to Star Wars, which makes me very happy. Dark Horse has done an excellent job when it comes to Star Wars. They've expanded the universe and always put out excellent stories. So it will make me very upset if Disney ends up taking the rights away from them, which is theoretically possible. But don't worry, for right now, they still own it. Now, what I don't like about the deal is that Disney has officially become the empire. Mickey Mouse is the emperor. They own Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars. If there's something you like and they don't own, trust me, they're going to own it soon. They're coming after everything you love. Now, I never like one company owning everything. Something about that just doesn't sit right with me. So let me know what you think about the deal. If you hate it, if you love it, if you're just freaking out over it, let me know in the comments below. Oh, also, this will not affect my Boba Fett reviews, which I'm sure everybody was caring about. Boba Fett will still review comics for me. This week I will be reviewing Punisher Warzone 1, written by Greg Rucka and art by Carmine Di Giandomenico. And this comic picks up at the end of Greg Rucka's run on the Punisher. No spoilers here, but the Punisher is in more trouble with the law than he usually is. So much so that the Avengers have finally decided to bring him in, and this issue sets that up. As a character, I've never been a fan of the Punisher. I feel he does more harm than good, but Greg Rucka did an amazing job on him. He doesn't redeem Frank Castle, nor does he make you like him. He just presents him. Fans of the Punisher will love Greg Rucka's run on him. Non-fans will see it as a great piece of writing that involves a self-righteous prick as a main character. This miniseries marks the end of Rucka's run at Marvel. It is new reader friendly if you read the recap page up front, but for you to really appreciate it, you would have to have been reading the Punisher from the start of Rucka's run. Ultimately, I rate this comic 4.5 out of 5. Next, Journey into Mystery, issue 645, written by Karen Gillian and art by Stephanie Haynes, and it all comes to an end in this issue, as Kid Loki is faced with a hard decision. This was really bittersweet for me, because it was amazing, but my heart couldn't help but to go out for Kid Loki since it was the end. Gillian's run on this was absolutely superb. It was consistently one of the best books out there, and I never regretted buying it. For Loki, it ended the only way it could, and what cushions the blow a little bit is that I know Gillian's going to be writing for Young Avengers, and I'm very interested to see what's going to come of that. A cool extra in this issue, and I'm sure Steph noticed, is in the back they published one of Tom Hiddleston's letters, so he was actually a fan of this title too. If you're a fan of the fantasy genre, I definitely recommend the trades on this. It was a great comic. I'm going to miss it, so sadly for the last time, I'm going to rate this 5 out of 5 stars. Next, WonderWoman issue 13, written by Brian Azzarello and art by Tony Akins, and this is the start of a new arc. It's setting up an unknown villain who looks really badass, and Wonder Woman continues to deal with her kooky, dysfunctional Greek god family. Also, she's taking in Hera because she's now human. I have immensely enjoyed Wonder Woman since the start of the DC New 52. She's smart and such a badass, and that's always showcased in the action scenes. Month after month, this continues to be one of the most solid and enjoyable reads out there. DC New 52 hasn't gotten a lot of things right, but this is for sure one of the things that they have. I ultimately rate this 4 out of 5 stars. Finally, AVX Consequences Issue 3, written by Kieran Gillian and art by Scott Eden. And in the interest of full disclosure, I did not buy this comic. A friend let me read it because AVX has stolen too much of my money already. So what was the issue about? It continues to deal with the fallout of AVX as Scott Summers is in the regular prison and has to deal with the inmates while the Avengers try to figure out what to do with him and hunt down the rest of his team. This was a solid issue. Scott Summers' mindset is interesting. He actually sees himself as a martyr and he doesn't want to escape the prison because he wants to be a political prisoner. Cyclops' story is one worth telling, and since there's only one writer writing it, Kieran Gillian, it's actually coherent and well written. You know, a title is very important. If this would have been called anything else but AVX Consequences and I would have been told about the concept, I would have picked it up from the beginning, no problem. So do not be afraid of the title. I definitely recommend it. I rate this 4 out of 5 stars. So that's it for me this week. Remember, don't overeat Halloween candy. Hopefully I'll be back next week and follow my own advice and not get sick because I'm just gonna eat all the candy I see. Remember to subscribe, check out the other geeks of the week, and stay geeky.